Hey everybody, this is Jared from Reap What You Sow. Today I'm going to show you a recipe that I just made up. So I don't have a name for it. If you want to name it, leave me a comment down below. So we're going to be using purple bok choy. I bought the seeds from Baker Creek. Heirloom Seed Company is where I got the seeds from. So the first thing we're going to do, and if you want to see the video of me harvesting the bok choy and looking at the garden, check the link out above. So next, we got about 2 pounds of ground beef in here. I'm going to add a little bit of pork meat because I don't want my ground meat with my bok choy to dry out while I'm cooking it. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of ground pork to this recipe. If you don't have ground pork, you can add some avocado oil or some type of oil to it to heat it, to keep it moist. So we got the meat in there. So next up, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. I like garlic. I'm going to add onion powder. Well, what the heck? That's how you do that when it's hard. Todd's got a bad habit of leaving the lids off and that it gets moisture in there and stuff. I run a humidifier at all times in this house, and so that's where that is. Okay, we're going to add some onion powder to that. I'm going to add some Worcester sauce, however you pronounce it. Just put a little bit in there. I ain't got no measurement, so don't ask me. It's just put it in and let's go with the flow. Next up is Camp Dog seasoning. This is the mild version, like he said. We have the original version too. So if you don't have Camp Dog or you have never purchased any Camp Dog, you can order online and he will ship it. I'll leave his website in the description below. So how much Camp Dog am I going to put in there? I don't know. We're just going to put a little bit in there. That should be enough. So now I'm going to use some turmeric. I love to use turmeric. It's good for inflammation and stuff like that. So we're just going to put a little bit of the turmeric in there. Okay, up next, cowboy candy. You can put jalapenos in it. This is your recipe. You make it how you want to. But I'm going to use some cowboy candy since I have some already. Cowboy candy's good. Okay, we got that. Because the Camp Dog is low in sodium, salt, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit salt because I eat a high salt diet due to the fact that I have pot syndrome. If you don't know what that is, look it up. So I just put a half a teaspoon in there if it ain't too salty. So now I'm going to set this right here and then I'm going to come on over here to my bok choy. This is the purple bok choy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these leaves off of this bok choy. So I'm not going to put this part in because I just want the green part. And I washed this and I soaked it in a little bit of salt water to make sure it has no bugs on it. Because y'all know how the little bugs gets on it. Okay, we're just going to cut this up real good. If you do not have purple bok choy, you can substitute this for cabbage. I just didn't have any cabbage, so my cabbage ain't quite ready yet. And so I'm going to use the bok choy. So now I'm going to take the bok choy and I'm going to throw it into the meat. Alright. Up next, cheese. Okay, now we're going to blend all this together. I'm going to wait and see if I need some more bok choy. So you just might as well get your hands in there and start blending. Meat chickens that we didn't butcher. They're laying eggs. Oh, it's 2 eggs. going to mix all this up. My mother-in-law's roaster, she let me borrow that. I made some bone broth the other day for the first time, and it actually turned out pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to take the mixture of the meat, and you're going to form it like a log or a potato. So you lay it over in the roasting pan. Get all your logs formed up. Or potatoes, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be good. Have I ate this before? No, this is a first time recipe. I like to get in here and just mix stuff. Hey, that's the best meals. When you get in there and throw stuff together, that's the good stuff. Okay, now I got my little log patties or whatever you want to call them made. You're going to take your fingers and you're going to poke across this. Down in there and open that up. Each one you're going to do like this. Make sure you glue it back together. And don't use Elmer's. Alright, now we have all the little cavities made into the meat logs. So let's move to the next step. Alright, so moving on to the next step. This is some potatoes. I threw them in the Instapot and I got them ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix these potatoes up. So I'm going to add some sour cream to these potatoes. I'm not going to add a whole bunch. That was like a double heaping spoonful. I'm going to add some butter. You don't want the potatoes to be soupy now. And I'm going to add Camp Dog seasoning. Next up, mash it. A little bit of salt to this because if you remember, Camp Dog is low in salt. So next I'm going to take this, it's kind of warm, and I'm going to form a little log. I'm going to place it inside the little hole on the meat that we made, the little pocket. Alright y'all, here goes the last little piece in there. Look, I got Todd behind the camera, and now he trying to tell me how to cook my recipe. He better sit over in a hush. He ain't cooking this.
I told her she needs some cheese on there.
This is a sticky mess. Okay, now we're going to add some cheese on top of this.
Because everything's better with cheese on it.
Well, I'm adding it not because you said. If you notice, I had it out. I was going to add it. Next up, y'all, is Zing Zang. It's a Bloody Mary mix. This has no alcohol in it. I just use this. I like to cook with this stuff because it is like vegetables and then it has seasoning in it. So what we're going to do is open up this. If you don't have Zing Zang, you can use a tomato sauce. Make your own tomato sauce, blend and season it up, or whatever you have. I just like the Zing Zang. So, I'm going to pour this on top of these. might have been better if I'd have just put it in a little spoon. So I'm going to put a little bit of the zigzag down on the bottom so it doesn't stick. So now I'm going to plug this up. I'm going to plug this up and I'm going to put it about 350. It's ready to go and it's ready for the taste test. And if you notice, I took a little bite out of it already. So let's taste it. That's absolutely good. And it's going to be filling with the potatoes in it. So we have this, whatever we want to call it. Y'all leave me a comment and tell me what this recipe can be named. This is honey glazed carrots with a little bit of sugar, cinnamon, and honey. And this is cucumber and tomato. If your kids doesn't eat carrots, try this, and I promise you, they're going to like it. Good. And before you ask, the cucumbers and tomatoes did not come out of my garden. I bought them from the store. Yes, bad. But that's all I had, and I love to eat cucumber and tomato salad. I made the cucumber and tomato salad with Italian dressing, and then I just put roasted garlic herb seasoning on it. If you haven't used the roasted garlic herb seasoning, you're really missing out. You can get it from Walmart. I order mine from Amazon because I don't go to the stores or anything. So guys, the best way to help our channel is by sharing it out. And we thank each and every one of y'all, and we really do appreciate y'all. And if you'd like to see more cooking videos, leave me a comment down below. And thank you, and God bless. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up.